Useful thing to understand is when and where nouns show up in sentences. Nouns can serve as two things basically, subjects and objects, and sometimes both. But in either case, nouns represent the things we talk about in sentences. You can identify nouns by the little words that go in front of them, and these are called determiners. And there's usually a determiner before any noun. Look at the video notes for a link to learn about those. But in short, there are words like el, la, unos, unas, este, mis. They're the little words that define which one we're talking about. Especially el, la, los, and las. Those are the most common. So where do nouns show up as a subject and as objects? Well, not always, but usually a noun serving as a subject shows up at the beginning of a sentence, or at least at the beginning of a clause. For example, mis abuelos viven en una casa al río Rappahannock. My grandparents live in a house on the Rappahannock River. So who is this sentence about? Well, mis abuelos, my grandparents, right? That is the subject. But what about el río Rappahannock and casa? These nouns don't have verbs. They're not doing anything, so they have to be objects. The rule is, if the noun has a verb associated with it, it's going to be a subject. If it doesn't, it has to be an object. Now there are different kinds of objects like direct objects, indirect objects, objects of a preposition, and so on. But what's important at this point is to simply discern nouns as subjects and nouns as objects. Let's take a look at one more example and walk through how to discern the subject versus the object. La chiquita da de comer a las palomas en la plaza. Alright, to identify the nouns, look for the little words, specifically el, la, los, and las. Did you find them? Well, the words after those are your nouns. La chiquita, the little girl. Las palomas, the pigeons. La plaza, the square or plaza. Now which one of those three is this sentence about? Is it chiquita, palomas, or plaza? Chiquita, it's about the girl, because she's the one that's feeding the pigeons in the plaza. She's the only noun that has a verb associated with her, so she is the subject. All the other ones are objects. Now you have one more step on your way to understanding how sentences are laid out.